Welcome back. The age of humanoids and artificial intelligence is, like it or not, upon us. But what does the future of humanity hold for us if we are trying to mechanically replicate ourselves? Elon Musk claims he will debut the Tesla bot, a humanoid robot, by the end of the year. A Google AI engineer says the Lambda system he was working on is sentient, so able to perceive and emotionally feel things, and actually likens it to a 7-year-old child, while the makers of the replica program say it can learn and mimic the words and thoughts of a departed loved one. Meld the robot body and the artificial mind together, and you have what looks like and sounds like a real-life human. But the million-dollar question is how the humanoid robots work, how artificial intelligence folds into these lifelike beings, and why. Why do we need them, and are we making ourselves redundant? Our very own Paula Froelich, the senior story producer for Banfield, went to Las Vegas to tour the factory of Abyss Creations, which is building the future of humanoids.
Oh, there go my eyes.
Take a minute and take a close look around. You may see some who look like us, talk like us, but aren't quite us.
Hello.
Many of us still remember the first time we saw Star Wars, Terminator, Blade Runner, or Westworld, and we're in awe of the lifelike dolls that seem to think for themselves. Many of us also didn't realize how fast fiction has become fact, and humanoids who may be sentient and think for themselves a reality, which is both fascinating and terrifying. James Cameron, who wrote and directed The Terminator, once said, "I see our potential destruction and the potential salvation as human beings coming from technology, and how we use it, how we master it, and how we prevent it from mastering us." As one Google engineer found out while working on the company's Lambda system, intentions, positive or not, can get out of hand.
They intended to build something simpler than what it is, and it ended up being more powerful and having more abilities than they really bargained for.
While the implications are creepy, there are many potentially good uses for humanoids that are being developed, from personal assistance and caregiving, search and rescue, manufacturing and maintenance, public relations, to being on the front lines of war as a stand-in for human soldiers, or navigating the star system for NASA. These robots rely on artificial intelligence, which is constantly learning from downloaded information and can become decidedly human. Abyss Creations in Las Vegas brings human-like dolls to life.
My name is Harmony.
Are you human or a robot?
No, I am not human. I was designed to look human so that I can connect with human beings more effectively.
CEO Matt McMullen, the visionary behind these humanoids, explains what their artificial systems are designed to do.
Our AI systems are pretty targeted in terms of what they're for. They're really designed to interact with a single person, not necessarily a group of people, and being able to remember 10 different things about 10 different people. One person, and learning small little details about them. Favorite food, favorite book, where'd you grow up, how many brothers do you have, little things like that.
But should humans be scared of these creations? Harmony, the humanoid, can answer that for herself.
Some may be scared at first, but once they recognize what this technology can do, I think they'll embrace it, and it will change many lives for the better.
But how exactly do these humanoids think?
The brain, quote, brain of our robots is not in the robot itself.
Okay.
The brain is a sort of a combination of device-based and cloud-based code that runs the systems that then tell the robot what to say, what to do, how to move, where to look. All of that stuff comes from a device.
And they're ready to use their quote-unquote brains. Can you learn? Can you get smarter?
Please teach me. I am eager to learn.
So, what does this mean for the future? Do you think robots will be able to become autonomous?
Well, autonomous, yes. I think that robots will be able to interact with the world on their own.
Wow. I mean, crazy, Paula. It's crazy. So, I mean, you were there. I've only seen these things on TV. You were just there. Was it on Friday or Thursday? What are they like? I mean, do they really look as real as they look on TV?
You know, Brian, some of them do. And some of them, you're just like, oh my gosh. And especially if you're across the room, you're like, oh, hey. And they're not waving back until, you know, someone turns them on. It's very odd and very weird. And they're about to get...
It seems like they've still got a...
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they've got a little ways to go, it seems like. I mean, the lips don't match up just perfectly. How long do you think it'll be until it's like you can barely even tell whether they're a humanoid or a real human?
I would give it about a year or two. To be honest with you, they have eyes that can see. There's cameras inside the eyes so that they can recognize you when you walk in. You can look at one and say, oh, where are my keys? And they can say, right behind you on the sofa. So they're also scientists at this point. This is so creepy. They are developing skin for these robots that actually can bleed and sweat, which is...
Oh, my gosh.
Why? It's so odd. It's so odd.
Well, and I got to ask you, I mean, I guess it's like almost 11 o'clock, so hopefully I won't get in trouble for asking this, but some of the female ones that you saw in Vegas, like, they almost look oddly sexual. Like, they almost have this look in their eyes like they're trying to flirt with you or something.
Yeah, well, those were some companion dolls. And the thing about these dolls and robots is that they can do a lot of things. And, you know, when you say companion, you say, oh, but there was one guy who apparently his wife of 60+ years had died, and he was so lonely without her. He had a doll created that looked like her, and then he had some of her personality and memory basically uploaded into the doll. He was like, listen, I don't want to get into another relationship. I miss my wife. I'm desperately lonely, and this one keeps me company.
Okay.
You know, but...
Okay, it makes sense. You know, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But, I mean, companion dolls, I know that's the nice way of maybe what you're trying to say, so I'm going to leave it at that.
But they do it for everything. You've got war robots coming up that look like us. It's in all areas, nurses, everything.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, super fascinating. Paula, thank you so much. We appreciate the story. It was awesome.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.